So this is the Liquidity Grab Trader. Liquidity Grab Trader. I'll be getting out certain settings out to you guys on the members download page. And what it does, this is all day yesterday. It traded all day yesterday. I'm going to give you several different settings on Renko settings you can use with this. And you guys obviously can use your own settings. Some of you have been doing very, very well with it. Derek, I've been seeing some of the comments in the room. You've done very, very well. What was your highest ticks, Derek, on that so far on the LG Trader? I know that you, I saw that you've been posting on some ticks. You had great job about using it after a V-top or V-bottom. I know some of you guys have used it very well already on the smaller Renko size. I'll go over that this morning. So bear with my voice this morning. Like I said, I'm getting over this thing. So so bear with me as I go over some of the settings and how we want to use it. But in the PDF that's going to be on the members download page here for you, I'm going to go over settings like this where yesterday this is what it's been running. So there's certain different Renko settings that can be smoothed out. I'll show you running live yesterday. Now, obviously, past performance is not indicative of future results. Let's go real time. This is the big contract just on this setting. I'll show you some of the trades it's run since yesterday. So you can see the consistency of the trades. This is on the big contract. You can use it on micros also. This is one specific Renko setting I like to use with it. So, wow, Derek, over 800 ticks for the week so far. Good job. Now, Derek, are you using it on V-top, V-bottoms, after V-top, V-bottoms on the 120? Good job, man. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I'll go over what Derek was talking about. He's been posting in the room using the oh, there we go. Obviously, past performance is not indicative of future results, but this shows you the consistency of the program on these different Renko size settings. So if you notice today, it's only run a couple setups. Now, I have this on a trend filter, but you can go without trend also. We had a buy this morning, had 2 buys this morning. What it does is on these other Renko settings is what I have. It looks for a distortion of price. There's a distortion of price, and it grab when liquidity is being grabbed. So any distortion of price, that is a liquidity grab where they're doing sell order blocks or buy order blocks. And so once you get that distortion of price, even if it's small, you'll see that you'll see it based upon the you'll see the liquidity grab here picked it up. So here's last night. I had it run even last night. There's the big distortion of price. Liquidity grab trader goes long. And here's at the close at 3:30 yesterday. There's your pullback against price. What a liquidity grab, guys, is basically that's where the market gets a nice pullback where the counter trend traders get taken out. They try to pull the market back against trend to grab liquidity, meaning buy order blocks to continue price to the upside. Nice trade into the close. Yesterday at 3 o'clock had a beautiful liquidity grab. So you can see, you notice when the liquidity grab is going to happen. You see prices ticking along on this Renko size that I use. And then you get a distortion in price where it gets pulled back. This is where the buy order blocks are going to happen. And you won't notice the liquidity grab until because this will be red and they'll close back green. Once it closes back green, you know they just grab liquidity. That's when the liquidity grab trader will go long. obviously you guys have been using a little bit. You're going to have your stops, targets, break even +1, with or without it on. It's up to you how you want to do it. So yesterday you could see that it was there are a lot of liquidity grabs to the upside. So that's what it does. So any Renko size that you put in, now like I said, on the PDF, I'll be getting out to Gerald to get that over to you. You know, I'll show you different Renko sizes that you can test. You can actually go and do market replay on it, or you can forward test it, just let it run on sim, going forward test as the market's ticking. But this works on all markets. My favorite markets for the liquidity grab trader, my favorite markets in the futures market, let me type them out. Type them out for you right here. So the favorite ones, the ES, the YM, RTY, the NASDAQ, especially on these longer Renko sizes, the NASDAQ futures, not so much the 1/120 that you guys use it so fast, but it does slow down on these larger Renko sizes. The NQ, I like the euro. I like the pound against the USD, the 6E, BP, crude oil, gold, the DAX. So these are just some of the markets that like to work with liquidity grab trader. Now it does work on the forex pairs, stocks, like I said, currencies, and then also if you like to trade crypto markets, it works on the crypto markets. But those are just a good start for you. I'd start with the ES. Now these go in micros too. You got the ES micros, obviously. You got the NASDAQ micros. So those work as far as that goes, as far as the market goes. You can start out with those, but those are the top futures that I like to look at with the liquidity grab trader. But it's the same exact setup. You're looking for the market to do a pullback against liquidity, to grab liquidity, and continue in price. Excuse me. So remember, past performance not indicative of future results, but like I said, just different Renko sizes that I'll show you. You could put those on, and with this different liquidity, if I skinny this chart down, let's just look at yesterday's trading. When I skinny it down and we look at it, you'll notice there's no liquidity grab on some of these pullbacks, right? Let's talk about the trend filter. Aaron's question, when you select trend box, does that follow the dual zone based on the 120/20? You'll see that I have an MA on there that you can check or uncheck. If you're doing the V bottoms or V tops, the first liquidity grab, and let the program do it for you, you want to uncheck it. You want to leave it unchecked, okay, Aaron? Leave it unchecked if you're going to turn it on specifically for V bottoms, V tops. You leave it unchecked. And then you can turn it on and turn it off based upon the dual trend filter and after a V bottom, V top, because it's going to get you on the first liquidity grab. Okay. If you want to use a larger Renko size, and I'm getting out to you in the members PDF right here that I'm making for you guys. This is a longer Renko. This is longer than our one we have in a room. If you do that, then you can use both the trend filter and non-trend filter on both sides. You can test it both ways. What I built into the program, multiple trend filters are already in the program. The moving average is just not built into it. I have built in a dual trend filter into the program off of a specific time frame, a Rinko size, that I prefer to use as a filter. And then it must agree, the smaller MA must agree with it. So when you uncheck it, it totally unchecks it all. If it's checked, they have to agree. All 5 filters have to agree. So there is a filter to it, correct. So you can uncheck it, but if you're using the 1-20-20 or 1-1-20 and you're trying to get a V bottom or V top after if there's a V top, V bottom, you'll see it won't take a trade in that direction. It's because there's more than just trend filters on the MAs built into it. I have it built into the program, multiple trend filters. So the best way to do it, if you want to get a V bottom or V top, meaning this, if you're trying to trade, okay, so here's a V bottom that comes in. Here's a V bottom, right? This is our standard V bottom in the trade room. If you want to trade this, and you want to trade this liquidity grab after this, you must have the trend filter unchecked. Because if you have a smaller moving average in there, it may not be going with and agreeing with this trend. Does that make sense, Aaron? Uncheck it because it's going to pick up the first liquidity grab with this trend direction. If you don't do that, and I don't know what type of moving averages you guys will put in, if it doesn't agree with this trend, then it won't get you in the trade till late, if that makes sense. If you have it unchecked, it's going to take the first liquidity grab, which will happen in between here. That's how it's programmed. I'll take the first liquidity grab in between here. Remember, the first liquidity grab will happen in between a V bottom or a V top and the Momo. Here's Momo 1. So here's where your LGs are going to happen. Your LG is going to happen in between here. So you got plenty of time to turn it on and let it manage your trade. So if you're using shorter Rinko sizes, then what you can do is you can let it manage your trade. You can let it manage your trade right after the V bottom or V top with the dual trend filter. And it'll manage your trade for you. That's the LG1. All right. You can specifically do it for that. Because here's our normal entry. V bottom. That's our normal entry. V bottom. And here's Momo 1. And Momo 1. So if you notice, there's a cycle to this. This is the process. How I can use a strategy to get into these if using a smaller Rinko like a 1-20-20 or 1-1-20. There's your V bottom. Your Momo 1, you should be scaling price, scaling contracts once that occurs. All right, you'll see the consistency of the setup. You'll see the V bottom come in with our yellow trigger entry. Then you'll see the LG1 come in. Liquidity grab strategy will get long. And then you'll see the Momo 1 fire the yellow trigger right afterwards. This is the process. So if you want to, there's 2 ways you can do it then on the liquidity grab trader. After a V bottom comes in, remember it's got to come in within 3 candles of our hammer. Remember our dual trend filter has got to be green, 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 or red, red. The yellow trigger entry is right there. There's your entry yesterday at 59.22 3/4 as a buy signal because it's green, green. Yellow trigger come in within 3 candles. Starts out to the 0 candle, meaning the hammer. 1, 2 happen on the second candle. That's an entry. So you can turn Liquidity Grab Trader on to look for the first liquidity grab, which it did yesterday. It got that long right here, and then it got your targets. The second V bottom happens here, V bottom 1309, and so on. Okay, so you can use it as an order management system where you can look just for V bottoms, wait till your targets are hit, shut it off, wait for the next V bottom or V top. Let it do that way, and it'll manage your position for you. You can also do it through failure trades. Remember, our dual trend filter, when it doesn't agree, when it's not green, green, it turns green, red. Here, this is a transition phase. Between the failure setup and the Momo 1, you'll also get a liquidity grab. Every failure. You can trade liquidity grab for that also. Momo 1, after the failure comes up, you can turn liquidity grab trader on, let it manage your position, shut it back off after your stop back out if you'd like. I would start out and just do the liquidity grab with Momo 1s first. I mean with V bottoms, V tops like Derek has done. You can see that Derek has shown that he's done over 800 ticks on the system just since last week on Liquidity Grab Trader using it with V bottoms or V tops. It works very, very well in doing that. Liquidity Grab will come right in between here, between the failure and Momo 1. Now, if you're a trader that says, hey, I don't want to do that. I want to use a larger Renko size and just let it trade throughout the session. That's what I do on the NASDAQ because it's such a fast time frame. Faster market, sorry. So what you can do, after V bottom comes in, you can turn on this Renko size, right? This is you use a 1/120. If you do not want to do that, you could use it off of a larger Renko size and just let it run around the clock while you're watching it. Okay? And let it do its thing off my larger Renko sizes. Like you'll notice here, let's let you notice on these larger Renko sizes I'm getting out to you on the members only PDF. You'll notice liquidity grabs, where it's grabbing liquidity, there's not too many of them, right? Not too many. This one, it went with 33, went up to 45. It's almost a 12-pointer. Not too many liquidity grabs. Where if I look at a 1/120, how many liquidity grabs are we getting? A lot of liquidity grabs, right? So if I look on a push up or push down, liquidity grab here, liquidity grab here. This is where the software will get long, and this is the easiest way to do the software. So if you see a V bottom with trend, we're green, green. There's your V bottom. That's a yellow trigger. This is where liquidity grab trader will get long. The first distortion in price, first liquidity grab, that's where it goes long. And it will trail your position until you get stopped out. And I'll answer your question in a second, Derek. Here's a V top against trend. Let's say you have the trend filter off. There's a V top. Your first liquidity grab happened here. It'll get short the market, right? So there's a lot of liquidity grabs that happen on the 1/120. 1/120. The first liquidity grab, such as this with green, green down here, the buy signal happens at this level. There's your first liquidity grab. Then we get another this is called a sweet spot V bottom. This is one of our best trades in the trade room. It's above my market structure here. We have tons of videos on this. That's my best trade in the trade room. One of the best trades called sweet spot V bottom. If you see a sweet spot V bottom come in, turn on liquidity grab trader. Let it manage your position. There's your entry. 31 a quarter, got as high as 47. Ran 16 S&P points. So you can do it this way, where you can trade off of a 1/120 to match my yellow triggers on our main chart over here, right? Like for example, this is a short right now in the S&P, 832. This is a zero turn candle. This is the best trade setup you get in our trade room. If the hammer turns yellow with red, red, or green, green, this is the best setup you can get in the room. They got short here at 8:32 this morning at 59.48 3/4. Well, when do I tell you Liquidity Grab Trader you'll want to get short on Liquidity Grab Trader? In between the VTOP and the Momo 1. Here's Momo 1. There's your VTOP. So here's your best trade you're going to get in the trade room. If it turns a yellow trigger short on the hammer. Aaron, good job yesterday. I saw you pick one up yesterday. Good trade, man. I like that. You guys are starting to pick up these trades live. So Liquidity Grab Trader will happen. You want to turn on, it will get short here. So let's take a look at it over here. This yellow trigger is this VTOP. That's why I have this chart down here to show you when Liquidity Grab Trader will take trades. There's your VTOP. Where's the first liquidity grab? Where's the first distortion of price? Is right here. That's when they pulled it back, took the counter trend traders out, and continued it. That is where Liquidity Grab Trader will get short for you. If you guys are trading at this morning, if anybody took this, did anybody take this short off Liquidity Grab Trader? Because that is a short right there. That is a liquidity grab short, right? That you can take if it's a yellow trigger over here. So that you could do it that way. Or like I said, you can use my larger Rinko sizes and let this trade around the clock. Let me answer some questions. Let me back up, answer questions. Let's see. Okay, Derek, answered Aaron's question about trend. So we have several trend filters built into it. It's just if you're going to trade off the 120 and follow the room after a V bottom, V top, uncheck it so it gets the first liquidity grab. If not, it's not going to get the first liquidity grab because your MA may not line up with some of the other trend filters. We answer that question. 2, Jay, how do we auto trail position? So you have targets, different targets, right? We have target 1 through 6. You can trade 1 contract, 2 contracts, all the way to 6. You can do the large contract, or you can do micros. Micros are 1/10 of the big contract. So it'd be 1/10 of the loss or 1/10 of the gain. So there's a break-even feature where after the first contract is filled, like this, if it comes back down to this level, breaking +1, it will get you out, or you can leave it off, and it'll look for your stop down there and stop you out if it doesn't hit. This is a little bit different than our previous strategies where I don't have a trail built in for the last contract. So what you want to do is you want to stagger your contracts accordingly. The next update, we're going to do things a little bit different down the road for you guys. I'm going to have a profit and loss, a P&L where the strategy shuts down when you hit your goal for the day, or if you have a stop loss for the day. So let's say you want to shoot for $500 during that day. The strategy will go for 500, then shut it off. Or if you have a stop loss for the day of, let's say, 200, it will run on the micros until it shut off that way. That is a feature that we'll be doing to add to it. And then also we'll add the auto trail that we had before as far as that goes. The best way to do it right now, you could do it, Derek, is you could use our gaps in the market, put your last contract out farther. Let's say you're doing 4 contracts. On your 4th contract, put your last contract out farther, and then you can adjust it into these tradable gaps. That's a good way to do it. So we know, let's say we have a gap of 40 ticks or 30 ticks on market profile. Put your last contract out and try to hit that gap, you know, if you're running into a big gap. If you're in between market profile, I just let it hit your normal targets. But if you're running into a big gap, you can adjust your last contract out and adjust accordingly and try to adjust and let it run as far as that goes. Okay, that's the best way to do it. The first liquidity grab, you got to have it unchecked, Leo. Does that answer your question? It got to be unchecked if you want to take all of them with V-bottom, V-tops. Aaron, once you enter those positions, do you leave the strategy on until it changes color, or do you shut this last when you get into your first position? position, meaning, yeah, that's totally up to you. So Aaron's question is, on the larger Renko size, you don't have to worry about it, Aaron, because you just want to let it try to hit its targets. Like this larger Renko right here, that, right, let's just think, if you're using the 1-120, all right, depending on the targets that you have, if you wanted to, or VTOP, totally customizable, totally up to you. Okay? You can do it either way. So that's either way you can do it. You can do it like I said, we can do it where it takes all liquidity grabs after a V-top or V-bottom. You can turn it on, turn it back off. But remember, if you're taking the first liquidity grab, the moving average has to be unchecked. If it doesn't agree with my trend filters built in, it's not going to take the first liquidity grab. It has to be unchecked if you're doing the 1-120, if you're letting it to manage the first position afterwards. Okay? Everybody got it?